Welcome back to Tales of Thailand. Today's story comes from Steve, a 62-year-old Belgian widower who thought he'd found a second chance at love in Thailand, and instead watched his marriage, his business, and 500,000 baht disappear in front of his eyes. This is a story about grief, hope, a dating app, a perfect wife, and a business deal that turned into the most expensive lesson of Steve's life. My name is Steve, I'm from Belgium, and I moved to Thailand in my early 60s after my wife back home passed away. I wasn't running away from my old life, but I also wasn't ready to sit alone in a cold European apartment waiting for time to pass. Thailand felt warm, alive, and for a man who'd lost everything, it felt like a place where I might start again. For the first year, I didn't even think about dating. I focused on learning how to ride a motorbike without killing myself, figuring out which street stall wouldn't destroy my stomach, and how to say more than hello and thank you in Thai. I was a widower, and in my mind, that chapter of romance was closed. Then, late one night, another expat introduced me to a dating site, ThaiFriendly. He said, "Steve, you're not dead yet. At least talk to someone." So, half as a joke and half out of curiosity, I created a profile, a simple one. No six-pack photos, just a retired Belgian guy with a tired smile. Within a day, my inbox was full. Most messages were copy-paste. "Hello dear, where you stay?" Or, "You have line." But one message stood out. Her name was Nook. Nook didn't start with "Hello dear." She wrote, "I see you are widowed. You must be lonely. I respect you." Her English wasn't perfect, but the tone felt different. She asked about my late wife, about Belgium, about how I liked Thai food. She didn't ask for money, a phone, or a plane ticket. TV. For a man who hadn't felt seen in years, that attention was powerful. We chatted online for weeks before we met. In those chats, Nook was everything a lonely 62-year-old man dreams of. Caring, understanding, funny. She said she liked older men because they were calm and loyal. She called me my gentleman. She told me she wanted a simple life, a good husband, and a small business. Nothing more. When we finally met in person at a coffee shop, my first thought was, she's too good for me. She was in her mid-30s, nicely dressed, polite. She didn't rush the conversation or stare at her phone. She listened. She laughed at my bad jokes. At the end of the date, she paid for her own drink and insisted on it. That little gesture was like a bomb in my brain. She's different. Over the next few months, everything progressed quickly. We had dinners together, took trips to the market, and visited temples. I even met her family on a video call. There was an elderly mother, cousins, nieces, the whole bunch. Everyone was friendly, and everyone kept saying how lucky Nook was to meet such a good man. For the first time since my wife passed away, I honestly felt like a husband again, not just a retired tourist passing through. After about 6 months of dating, Nook started talking about marriage. She said, "Steve, I don't want just boyfriend. I want real family. I want to take care of you until you're old and cannot walk." For a 62-year-old widower, let me tell you, that sentence is dangerous. It hits you right in the heart, and you kind of forget that your brain exists. So, after a little hesitation, and after a few beers with other expats telling me, if she's good, don't lose her, I agreed. We got married in Thailand, first at the Amphor, then with a traditional ceremony in her village. There was music, food, and honestly, I think half the village showed up. People started calling me Papa Steve. Aunties hugged me. Kids climbed on me like I was a playground. It felt real. It felt like home. For a while, married life was, well, beautiful. Nook cooked, cleaned and took care of me in ways I just wasn't used to. She handled all the little things, dealing with the landlord, calling the plumber, ordering food. She'd even call me at night if I went out with friends, just to check I got home safe. I told myself, "You did it, Steve. You found a second chance." Then, well, came the business idea. One evening, after dinner, Nook said, "Steve, I don't want just stay home. I want to make something for our future. Maybe small cafe or bar for us. You don't need to give me money every month. Business can support us." She made it sound so reasonable, even responsible. We discussed a small bar cafe concept, a place where local Thais and expats could drink, play pool, listen to music. She said many of her friends would help, and her cousin had experience running a place like that. All we needed, she said, was an initial investment, around 500,000 baht. Now, 500,000 baht is not exactly pocket change, but for a man with a lifetime of savings, it seemed doable. My brain said, "You should be careful." My heart said, "She's your wife. If you don't trust your wife, who can you trust?" So, we set it up the Thai way. For legal reasons, the business had to be in her name. She would be the owner. I would just help. Everyone told me, "This is normal in Thailand." The documents were all signed in Thai. She translated them quickly and, well, I just nodded, pretending to understand. I transferred the 500,000 baht. We painted the walls, bought fridges, chairs, a billiards table. I watched my money turn into neon lights and beer coolers. At first the business seemed okay. Friends came, locals came, we broke even some months and lost a bit other months. That didn't worry me. It was more about having a shared project, a place to sit with a beer and say, "This is ours." Then the red flag started. Nook began travelling home to visit family more often. At first it was once every couple of months, then once a month, then almost every few weeks. When she was away, she was strangely unavailable. Messages took hours to answer. Calls went unanswered. She sent photos of random plates of food that could have been taken anywhere. One night, after the bar closed, I sat alone at our place. I was tired, and I'll admit, a little drunk. I looked at my phone and thought, if I'm paranoid, I'm stupid. If I'm not paranoid, I might be even more stupid. So I opened Facebook, typed her name, and browsed through her profile. Everything looked normal until I noticed something. Her friend list was huge. And then I saw it. Another profile that looked almost the same as hers. Same face, different name. A second Facebook account. Curiosity beat loyalty. I clicked. The second account was a different life. Photos of her with another foreign man, around my age, maybe a bit younger. Selfies at the beach, dinners, temples. Captions in Thai with heart emojis. Comments like, "Miss you already and see you soon, my love." My stomach dropped. The dates on those photos overlapped with the times she was visiting family. There he was in one picture holding the same glass I'd bought from Macro for our bar. In another photo, she was wearing the same dress she told me she bought for our anniversary dinner. Except she was at a resort with him. I took screenshots, dozens of them. The next time she returned from family, I was waiting. I didn't shout. I'm 62. My shouting days are over. I just put my phone on the table and started sliding through the photos, one by one. She went silent. Then, the excuses started. He just friend. Old picture. You don't understand. And finally, when she realized there was no way out, the mask dropped. She became cold. "If you don't trust me," she said, "we cannot be together. She stopped sleeping at home. She stopped coming to the bar. She spoke to me like I was a customer, not a husband. Within a couple of weeks, she asked for a divorce. Not a discussion, not counseling. Just, I want divorce. And then came the second punch, the business. Because the bar was in her name. Legally, it wasn't our bar. It was hers. All that money I had put in, all the equipment, the renovations, the stock, it wasn't mine. On paper, I was just the helpful foreign husband. She changed the locks. She changed the staff. She changed everything but the owner's name, because that never needed to change. In the space of a few months, I lost my wife, my business, and 500,000 baht. I felt like an idiot. A 62-year-old man who'd allowed himself to believe a romantic story instead of reading the fine print. Friends told me, "Go back to Belgium, Steve. Start over." But here's the thing. I still love Thailand. Thailand didn't steal my money. My decisions did. One woman did. My grief did. My desire to feel loved again did. So I stayed. I moved to a smaller, cheaper place. I sold my motorbike and bought a more modest one. I started living like a retired man again, not a businessman. And slowly, between coffee shop mornings and quiet evenings, the anger faded and the lesson remained. Today, when younger guys or older guys like me ask for advice about marrying quickly and putting businesses in someone else's name, I tell them Steve's golden rules first. If the relationship is rushing you, slow it down. Second, if the business is not in your name, it's not your business. And third, never invest money you can't emotionally afford to lose. I don't hate my ex-wife. In a strange way, she gave me clarity. She forced me to face the fact that loneliness can be more dangerous than any bar girl in Pad Thai. When you're lonely, you'll sign anything, believe anything, and call it true love. I'm still in Thailand. I still enjoy the food, the people, the weather. I still smile when I see a happy Farang Thai couple. I hope they make it. But me, I'm done with quick marriages and joint businesses. The next time someone tells me I'm their perfect husband after 6 months, I'll smile, pay for dinner, and go home alone. Because losing 500,000 baht hurts. But losing your self-respect hurts much more. So that was Steve from Belgium, a widower who came to Thailand looking for a second chance at love, and instead got a 500,000 baht lesson in trust, paperwork, and the dangers of moving too fast. What do you think? Was this pure manipulation from the start, or did the relationship change along the way? Have you seen similar stories of marriage, business, and betrayal in Thailand, or even lived one yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Your experiences and advice might save someone else from the same mistake. If you found Steve's story helpful or eye-opening, please give this video a like, subscribe to Tales of Thailand for more real stories from expats and locals, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next episode. Thanks for watching, and as always, be careful with your heart and your wallet in the land of smiles.